Hey everyone, thanks so much for joining me. My name is Emily. My goal here is always to create a warm and welcoming space, and I hope that's what you find here. I don't know if you can hear Tulip purring next to me. That is also what she hopes for you. I have two finishes to share with you today. They are both from Jaded Gem Shop. One is a full canvas, a pretty large canvas, and then the other is the set of spring minis. Do you mind not shaking the table, please? That would be very helpful for me if you wouldn't shake the table in your excitement. We'll do the big canvas first, and then I'll show you the minis. I'm going to change your perspective so that you're looking down at my table. So give me just 1 second and we'll shift you around, okay? Okay, there's no surprise here. This larger canvas is Fairies to the Rescue. This is from Jaded Gem Shop and ToshiaSan. So let me flip this over for you. It's too large to fit in the entire frame, so I will make sure to put let me zoom out for you just a little bit. Hang on tight. So maybe we can fit almost all of it in frame. I will be sure to put the full image somewhere on the screen so you can see the whole thing. This canvas is 65 centimeters wide and 90 centimeters long or tall. Every canvas I finish, I feel like, is my favorite canvas, but this one really is pretty special, and I've had this one for a long time, and I can explain why. So let me zoom you back in so we have a little bit better clarity. So I can explain why I've had this for so long. I purchased this, today is July 19th, 2026. I purchased this in May of 2025. So in early 2025, in the spring, I suppose, I started learning about the more premium diamond painting companies. And the way that I tend to do and the way I think other people do, I started learning all that I could about all of these various companies, and I was just fascinated by this, and so I was rushing around and learning as much as I could, as fast as I could, and watching all of these videos and learning everything. And so I heard about Jaded Gem Shop, and I went and I saw this kit, and I fell in love with it immediately, because who wouldn't? And I was under the impression at the time, because I had just started learning about these things, that all of the companies operated the same way, in that once a kit sold out, you didn't know when it may come back in stock, and once a kit sold out, it may be discontinued, and you had no idea when that may happen. And so I was very stressed about this kit because I desperately wanted to have it, and I was so worried about this kit. And so Jaded Gem Shop had a sale, and so I picked it up as fast as I could. And then I think it was even before the kit arrived, I realized, of course, different shops, different companies have different business models, obviously. But you know, it had only been a few days since I had started learning about all of these things, and so I had just gotten obsessed with the concept, and so I had wrongfully assumed that everyone was operating under this same sort of business model. So I still, of course, was obsessed with the kit, but once I had it in my hands, it was much larger than anything I had worked on up to that point. And I think the biggest one, this is the biggest one I've finished so far, 65 by 90. I think I think 60 by 80 is about as big as I've gone up to this point. There may be larger I'm not sure. Let me see how big. I guess it doesn't really matter, but this is one of the larger ones, if not the largest one that I've completed up to this point. I don't really have, unicorns or a rainy day stash, but this is certainly one that's been waiting for me and that I've been very excited about in my collection. So I was very excited to finally get to it. I say all of that to say we're going to talk a little bit about my experience with the kit. I really enjoyed it, but just keep in mind that I did purchase this more than a year ago. I know that Jaded Gem Shop just announced that they are changing their drill supplier and they're changing some of their drills and things like that. So I did want to point that out before I mentioned anything. Obviously, you can see this. I mean, the detail in this is incredible. So this is, Jaded Gem Shop has hybrid charted kits where they are partially computer rendered, and then Jade herself or someone else goes in and sorry, I keep just moving it around. Let's focus on the frog. I don't want it to slide off the table though. Okay, that's good. So Jade or someone else goes in and sort of cleans it up. She also has a whole section on her website of pixel charted kits, which are entirely hand charted. So this is one of the pixel charted kits. Obviously, I don't know if you can get the detail up close, but these are square diamonds or square drills. So I just checked, you can still also get this in round. The round drill kit is made to order, so it may take a little longer to ship to you. Let's see, so there were 6 different glimmer drills in this. I didn't add any enhancements here. I have started adding some enhancements to some of my kits, which I'm sort of very proud of that process, but I didn't add anything here. I feel like Jade and whoever else is charting Jade's kits with her, they and I have the same feel for glimmer drills and how much glimmer should be in a kit, which is as much as possible. So we have glimmer here in her little shoes. A lot of the frog is glimmer. Her wings have the yellow glimmer and a little bit of green glimmer as well. The grass has glimmer. Up at the top, a lot of the, it's like almost heavy to move around. Up at the top, you really shouldn't roll your diamond painting with the drills in, but up at the top, a lot of the leaves have some glimmer as well. So with a hand rendered kit, and with one of this size, I feel like the details still really come through. So a lot of these incredible details, the little poofs on her shoes. I think, or maybe I feel like there were some glimmers there, but maybe not. Even the flowers in the flying fairies crown, they are a little blurry up close, but obviously the camera gives you a little bit of distance, and at viewing distance, they're beautiful. We've got the veins in her wings, her little ruffles in her dress. So many gorgeous little details throughout the painting. So one tiny, well, I suppose, so there were, how many did we have? So I had 52 colors. There was, at the very beginning, I panicked because the B and the E were a little bit similar on the canvas, but not on the stickers that were on the drills. Did I already get this down? Hang on. I'm very well organized, and this is a professional operation, everybody. So the B and the E are obviously different on the stickers and slightly different colors. I had a little bit of a hard time at the beginning differentiating them on the canvas itself, but it very quickly became obvious which one was which, and it was mostly my own anxiety as I was getting started. The other thing that I wanted to mention, and this really goes back to what I said at the beginning, which was I purchased this more than a year ago, and they are changing their drills. Almost all of the drills were a delight to work with. 2 or 3 of the drills were not great. So like the green glimmer was like more trashy than the rest of them. And then there was another one. It might have been this one. There were a couple of the lighter, like beigey colors that were a little more difficult. So it was kind of strange that so many out of 52, almost all of them were very easy to work with. And then there were 4 or 5 drill colors that weren't great. But obviously I had plenty, and it was very clear that they are aware that those particular colors weren't great because they clearly compensated for that. So it was just it was definitely the lightning bolt. I remember that now. The lightning bolt, the green glitter, there was something else as well. But so I say that to say, again, purchased this more than a year ago. It all worked out. It didn't make it unpleasant to work on. It was just an interesting thing as I was going through. I was like, a lot of these are like a delight to work with, and then there's like 3 or 4 colors of the 52, which was really interesting. And then as I went further along, and as the colors start to dwindle, you realize, oh, they've clearly made a compensation for this. So anyway, this turned out beautifully, I think. I think this is gorgeous. So I love this at first sight. The other thing I wanted to mention, you guys will have to tell me what you think in the comments. I obviously looked at this first with the context of the title, Fairies to the Rescue. I posted it when it was finished on my Instagram, which also posted to my Facebook page. And one of my friends from work mentioned that when she first looked at it, because of the skeleton drawing, I suppose, her first thought was that they were about to dissect the frog. And it was such... It sort of blew my mind because that never crossed my mind. So let me know what your first thought was. So then I was defending the image. I said, well, she has the medic armband. They're helping the frog. He has a bandage on his arm. Like, I was defending this. She's like, no, I get it now. But, it could also be this. Like, no, it can't. They're rescuing him. They're helping him. Wouldn't he be hopping away in distress? So let me know what your thoughts are. I just thought it was so funny that we could both look at the same picture and think 2 very different things. She also has the context of knowing me as a person. Not that I would ever hurt a frog, but she does know that like one day it's like skulls and ghosts, and the next day it's fairies for me. So I do understand that. I had the context of the title, and she had the context of me as a person. So I love this. Let me know what you all think. I'm gonna flip this over so that it's not distracting again, and let me grab the spring mini set. All right, here are our spring minis. There are 9 of them. Each one is 5.75 by 5.75 centimeters. think these turned out so cute. Can you see our bunny? Yeah, all right. These turned out so cute. These are relatively small. I haven't done a ton of minis, but compared to, for instance, a paint gem, this is probably 2/3 of the size. They are super cute, just like with the larger canvas. We have plenty of shimmer drills. So all of the white that you see in all of these mini canvases here, all of the white is a beautiful shimmer drill. This darker border that you see on each of them, and then often surrounding each of the characters or the flower, whatever it is, those are a crystal drill. And I think the crystal drill gives it sort of a 3D effect because it has a translucence that you don't really notice. And I think that's because it's a darker darker crystal drill. It's a dark green. It looks almost, I guess maybe it looks green to you. I mean, yes, I said that correctly. Maybe it looks green to you. I guess from a distance, it doesn't really have a specific color to me except for dark. So, but the translucence does give the items a little bit of a 3D effect. The other genius thing about these is that they are small, but the design really leans into sort of the, I'm going to say this incorrectly, but the 8 or 16-bit game icons. So I was born in a year that starts with 19, but if you recall, or you can look them up, but the pixelated gaming icons from back then. So when you have a canvas this small, when you're working with something that's going to be this tiny, I think really leaning into that motif, leaning into that design is really smart because you are creating pixel art. So leaning into that design is so clever. And so we have these adorable little characters that turn out. Again, we've got lots of the shimmer drills. This light green is a shimmer. And of course our duck is mostly shimmer here. We've got all this light green here is shimmer. I don't think does our duck shimmer? He's not a duck. I think he's a chicken. I think he's a little chick. He's annoyed to see us. Because this is a duck, right? Obviously this is a duck. This is chicken. A little chick. A spring chick. So maybe our specials, I kitted this down already, so I do apologize. I cannot tell you for sure. And I'm using my phone to record this, so I'm not going to look it up. I think our shimmers were, I think there was a fourth one. But we have the crystal drill, we have the white shimmer, we have the light green shimmer, and I think there was another one, but I don't see it off the top of my head. So I really love the shimmer drills. I think they're lovely. I really like the crystal drill. I like that it gives a little bit of a 3D effect that you don't really notice is happening. I love that we leaned into the pixelated image and made them into these cute little 8-bit images. I think I can't pick my favorites really, but strawberry's a top contender. Frog's a top contender. Angry Chick is a top contender. I don't know. They're all really cute. They're all so cute. So, I haven't found. I've seen lots of good ways for people discussing lots of good ways to display their mini canvases. I have not had the motivation to actually accomplish any of those. So if you have any good recommendations for how you have displayed your mini canvases, please let me know. I will link in the video description both of these I will link these canvases specifically, Fairies to the Rescue, and then the Spring Minis. I purchased these in square. You can get them in rounds as well. I prefer squares, so I purchased both of these kits in square, but you can get them in round. So I will link these specifically, and then I'll also leave the link just to Jaded Gem Shop generally so that you can browse if you would like. I really enjoyed Jaded Gem Shop. I still have 2 small kits to complete from her. I'm really looking forward to that. So let me know what you think of both of the, I guess this is a set, and then the larger canvas. Let me know what you think of these. Let me know if you have any ideas for displaying these cutie pies. I mean, I don't want to leave anybody out. That's the problem now, is that however I display these, I need to do it 9 times because they live together. They're a family, so I can't leave anyone behind now. So whatever I do, I have to do it times 9. So if you have any good ideas, let me know. Thank you all so much for watching. I really appreciate it. It really means a lot to me. I have not been able to film for, I don't know, I have to look. It's been a long time. So I have not had the time or energy or both to film in a long time. So I really appreciate you all watching. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoy, and I'll see you all in the next one. Please be safe until then. I'll see you next time. Bye.